La neta con Larry Navarrete.
And welcome to Bottom Line with Larry Navarrete, episode number, Alex, what number? 7. No, that's the Spanish one. 7. 7. Lucky 7. Lucky episode number 7. I'm here with Larry Navarrete from Lone Sweet.
This is Larry Navarrete from Lone Sweet Mortgage, NMLS 670-362. 670-362. I don't know why. I've been doing mortgages for almost 20 years and I keep on forgetting my NMLS.
You need to get it tattooed on your arm or something. Yeah. A little barcode.
670-362 with Lone Sweet Mortgage. So,
Larry, we're here after episode 6. We talked about the economy a little bit, the interest rate that's going down. We're getting close to September. Are rates dropping, Larry?
Rates are dropping. They're not dropping like everybody makes it seem like they are, but they are dropping. They are getting better. You definitely don't see nothing in the 8s no more, where, you know, a few months ago you did. You're not seeing some 5s, right? And when people ask me, is there a 5%? Every day there's 5%.
Yeah, 5%. It's just going to cost you.
What is it going to cost you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What type of loan or stuff like that. But yeah, there's lots of changes, and there's lots of changes in the market. Not as much as lending, but, you know, with the real estate.
The real estate market's a whole different.
And it has nothing to do with the housing or anything. It has to do how they're getting paid now.
New rules, right?
New rules, yeah.
New rules.
Yeah, there's new rules. From the lender point of view, I don't see much changing. You know, to me, it looks very similar because I think when we talked, or did I mention, you asked me, if you want to sell the house? And I said, exactly. That's the quick question. If you want to sell your house.
How much do I want?
How much am I going to pay? Now they're saying, the seller doesn't have to pay. No, but in reality, you don't have to pay the buyer's agent no more. But do you really want to sell the house? If you really want to sell the house,
you're going to have to pay somebody.
You're going to have to pay, besides your realtor, you're going to have to pay, you have to give a commission out there to the buyer's agent, because who's going to want to show your house for free?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the bottom line.
You won't get the traffic.
You won't get the traffic.
Okay.
I can do a for sale by owner. You could have always done this for sale by owner. It's nothing that you don't have to use a realtor to sell your house. But which traffic are you gonna have?
Yeah.
You know, I said in my Spanish podcast, I live in a cul-de-sac. For trick-or-treating, I gotta make a big old pot of pozole so I can get trick-or-treaters to my house, so I can get people. I gotta turn my lights on, I leave the garage open, I put chairs out there, tables, because I want traffic. I want to give out candy to kids.
You want to give out candy.
But I live in the cul-de-sac at the end of the neighborhood, and I don't have that foot traffic.
People don't think you have candy.
Well, because I'm at the end, and the way my house is facing, you know, like maybe you gotta let me borrow one of those blow up things to move around to people that
you probably just have cheap neighbors. That's why nobody goes to your neighborhood.
Well,
you're the only one out there giving.
For the longest time, the lot next door was empty, so there was no house.
Okay.
Now they're awesome. Now they do. The other neighbor, I believe he goes to his family's house, to his parents or something. So he has his lights turned off. The other one does the same thing. So the last 4 houses in my cul-de-sac, I'm now with my neighbor. So we're both the ones that come out. For the longest time, I was only one. So when you're going to the cul-de-sac and you got toward the end, you're like, you don't give no candy here. So that's what I'm saying.
There's no traffic. There's no foot traffic.
So can you sell your house on your own? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you might sell it. I mean, you never know. You might get that traffic. You might get that person, right?
It'll take you work.
And you might sell it in a day. You might sell it in a week. But statistically speaking, you won't, because you won't have the traffic. That's why you list it with an agent. That agent puts it to all the agents. So when a buyer goes to see this agent has access to all of them.
Law of large numbers. Right?
Yeah, so it's statistically speaking, the more traffic, you know. I'm going to tell you a little quick story. You know how they say in Spanish, el que madruga no le ayuda?
Yeah.
How would I translate to English?
Whoever gets up early.
The early bird gets the
worm.
The worm, right?
Yeah.
About 15 years ago, I had a company coming from out of town. This was when I was living in Los Baños, California. Foggy. I never get up early in the morning, or I hardly ever do. I got up at 5:45 in the morning, and I was driving, and I seen, I don't know, I mean, back then I had hawk eyes, now I wear glasses, right? Or eagle eyes. I seen a $100 bill on the road, the back road. And I'm like, nah. I stopped, I went back, I picked up the $100, 2 feet away, I seen another $100 bill. 2 feet away, I seen another $100 bill. 4 $100 bills.
Sounds like a trap.
By the time I got to the fifth one, there was a little stack, so total of $1,000. And I seen, I'm looking around, you get all nervous, right?
Yeah.
You know, nobody in the middle, in the back roads. There was a guy jogging, probably about 100 yards away. I seen a couple cars and I grabbed them and everything. And then I said to myself, damn, if I wouldn't have gotten in early, somebody else would have gotten them or the wind would have taken them.
Yeah.
Right? So statistically speaking, if you get up earlier, you have a better chance of finding that worm because somebody hasn't come across it.
I love your analogy, Larry. Yeah. So getting up early, guys,
Getting up early and
will help you find money.
It did for me that day.
If you want to sell the house, you need a lot more
Traffic.
agents and
More-
traffic. That way,
When
you
you
have
list
more
it, when you
views.
list it, you're not listening with your agent. You're listening with every agent.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of open houses now. We talked about that before. I see a lot of more activity from the realtors, the listing agents putting those open houses. Is that maybe because the listing agents want to get the two of them? They want to get the buyer since they already
You
have
know
the
what?
listing?
I'll tell you my opinion about the more open houses. It's come back to COVID. During those couple years of COVID, no open houses, right? Very little, few virtual tours, and people kind of started sticking to that. But now it's like, let's go back to the grind. Let's
Yeah.
go back open houses, forever. Let's go back to the open houses. Let's go, people, we want to go back to. I want to see it in person.
Now, when you go to an open house, are you committed with that contract?
I don't. There is no contract. You know what I mean?
You can just go look at the house,
Before,
right?
traditionally, the seller, the listing agent of the house will do the open house.
Okay.
I see it more and more now where I'm the listing agent, but you're an agent. You ask, hey, Larry, can I do an open house in your listing?
You see the selling agents.
No, a buyer's agent, any other agent could
Okay.
go do an open house on your house. You ask for permission. Can I do an open house? I sold the house. I had it listed with an agent about 6 months ago. And another agent, I kind of scratched my head like, I seen it, right? I seen it on Facebook, open house. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's my house.
And it was somebody else.
And it was another agent. But to me, it's like, yeah, I don't care. Somebody marketed it, right? So they asked permission to my agent to do an open house.
Which is kind of cool. Like, if
Now,
you have-
so before when you used to go as a buyer, you just walk in, it was a very good chance that the agent that was there was the listing agent.
listing agent.
Now it's not, doesn't have to be. Other
No.
agents do,
How do you think people are going to react knowing that you have to sign a contract to go see houses?
I don't know. If you ask me, because remember, I'm thinking investor-wise.
Yeah.
I'm thinking investor-wise. I'm thinking like, I got to sign a contract,
Yeah.
right? What if I don't like this agent? What if we don't agree? What if, we're not clicking?
Do you think it'll be a little short-term contracts?
I don't know. Me personally,
Well, let's say you have a lazy agent.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I'm
and you got a
saying, yeah.
contract with this guy, and I'm not saying all agents are lazy, but I'm sure one or two, get up later than others.
yeah, but at the same time, I think it's going to get agents, more on it. You're talking about more open houses now.
Yeah. No, I've been seeing
They're
them,
more
yeah,
active,
yeah.
right? Because there's, competition, and I told you, competition.
And
is
I think
the best.
you're right
Better
about
pricing,
Yeah.
better product, and better service.
I think you're right about the open houses. Maybe it is COVID. I thought maybe it was listing agents that are out there trying to get the two of them. They're trying to get
Both ends?
the buyer. Yeah, they're trying to get the seller
It
and the
could be.
buyer.
I don't know, but I just see a lot more open houses because when you see the open house, you see listing and it's never. I see it more and more where it's not them.
Now, I was talking to a realtor. I was saying, hey, you know what? All these open houses, you'll probably see a lot of people just going out there because they don't have to sign a contract yet. They're just looking at the house. And then if they like it, maybe they'll just talk directly to the listing agent. He told me that's a catch-22 because you don't have representation if you're dealing with the listing agent directly.
Me personally, for my personal thing, I don't like working with the same agent as seller and buyer.
Okay. It's like working with God
Because
and the devil.
I'm like, like who's paying him? The seller, and it was or still is, could still be. So who do you think he or she's going to represent more?
Well, I mean, he wants to get it sold, so because
Yeah, and to me, they're gonna, be a little bit from the seller's point of view because they're the ones that are getting paid, right? I'm not paying them as a buyer.
now
But that's just my point of view. I like to take my own agent.
do you think a lot of agents are going to go out there and just focus on getting listings now instead of trying to get
You know what?
buyers?
Remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many listings you have. You need a buyer.
You need buyers.
So somebody's got to have to get the buyers too.
Now, going back to listings.
You can't sell a house if you
you're
don't
right,
have a
you're
buyer.
right. You got to have buyers. But do you think they'll be more aggressive and maybe charge a less percentage than they're charging just to get the listings?
Look, it's all about competition, right?
It's going to get competitive. Huh?
I would hope so. I got to give better pricing if I want to compete. You know what I mean? And then it's not always about the pricing. What are you offering? What are you differentiating from yourself from the other agent?
Are you going to do open houses?
What am I differentiating from myself as a lender, right? When I talk to me about a lender, and I talk to this customer, and he was going to go to a competitor bank, and I go, you got to understand, on a day-to-day, I'm going to be really there or beat that other person or that other institution. It wasn't a person, it was an institution. I go, but is that institution going to call you? Are you going to call the institution and say, how do I fill out a lease agreement? What happens when I have to evict this person? Larry, where do I get a plumber to fix this?
Yeah.
So with me, you get Larry the lender, and you get Larry the landlord, the guy that's been through it, that's trial and error, right?
Larry the cable guy.
So you don't go through it. You don't just get the better rate with me, or you don't get the rate with
you got
me.
experience.
You get the experience.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I put my foot in my mouth, when it comes to, I think you should do this, that, when you're buying.
But
right?
that's honest. That's bottom line. Bottom line from Larry.
Do the agents like that?
Well, people don't like it. I mean, people don't like the truth.
The truth hurts sometimes, huh? Yeah,
you got to butter it up. Larry, where can we contact you? Where are you at now?
I'm at Lone Sweet Mortgage. I've been here for almost a year, but we did move offices. We're no longer on 2nd. We're on 4th Avenue, 2052 South 4th Avenue, right across from
Quality Liquor and Dairy Queen.
And Dairy Queen.
You can't miss Larry.
Inside the Ability Agency office. Come see me. You have questions or anything.
You guys have a lot of traffic going on over
We
here.
have more traffic, you know what I mean? And right now, I'm hopefully this Friday or Monday, I should close on a deal on a customer for 2 deals. It makes me super happy. You know what I mean? It is a family
Weren't
member.
you like agent of the month or
No,
something? Like that?
yeah, but besides the point, this person, I call it a gangster move.
Thug life.
Thug life.
Throwing the switches.
Had a home free and clear, making $1,300 in rent. Told them to sell the house. They bought 2. All right, they're not going to make any money for the next 6-7 years.
Oh,
but after
thanks, Larry.
6-7 years, they're going to turn it into $4,000 a month.
Okay.
So they're going to turn those $1,300 a month to $1,400 a month. $4,000 a month, and that's before their retirement age. So
That's better than a 401k, right? Yeah.
you asked me 10 times better than a 401k.
Okay,
And so
Larry.
those, and I just call that's my gangster move.
That's your gangster thug life.
That's my thug life.
And Dr. Dre.
Telling people or showing people how, and they were scratching their head like, what are we doing again? Trust me.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Larry, we'll see you here next week or the week after that. Thank you very much. Appreciate talking to you and getting all this advice on how to make money and how to. Bottom
line, treat your transaction the same. Go out there, get your agent, listen to him or her. Negotiate,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the more competition this brings, the better out from all of us. You know what I mean? And I just tell everybody, we can't get greedy. We got to provide the best service for everyone. And at the end of the day, we're all going to make money. I think if we all make money, everybody be happy.
Let's make a deal. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Larry. See you later.
Okay.